fuck, Kenny?
Lee, it's okay.
Katja wouldn't want this. Damn it, Ken!
Yeah, she would. I either save the kid or I get to see her. Either way. Now get back up there.
Go get that girl. Back, you sons of bitches! Yeah!
Damn it, Kenny!
Oh,
God damn it!
Kenny, please!
What happened?
Probably one of the biggest unanswered questions in Telltale's The Walking Dead. We still don't know what happened to this very day with Kenny. How did he survive this alleyway, go on to live into Season 2, and maybe even Season 3, depending on your choices? Well, today, I have come up with a few theories as to how he could have survived. However, there really is only one really strong theory as to how he survived. I kind of wish that it was just straight up revealed, or we got something to show us, hey, this is how Kenny survived. But I do have three theories I want to go through, and I'm going to go from the least likely to have happened to the most likely to have happened. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe for more content, and if you want to see more game theories, let me know down in the comments below. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get into the video. So the first theory I've come up with, and the one that was least likely to have happened, was that Kenny actually hid in a trash can. Now, there isn't really much to work with here in this alleyway. The windows are all boarded up. There is a trash can visible. There is like the railing that Ben's laying on, and that is essentially it when it comes to hiding spots. So in this instance, I do think it's technically possible that he could have hid in the trash can. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't think that this is very likely is because of the fact that the walkers would have seen him go into it and hear him go into it. It doesn't matter if they're munching on Ben. If they see another live target closer to them, then they're going to go after him as well. That's more food for them. So it's not very likely necessarily that he would have hid in the trash can, especially seeing as I think that there's actually like a bag in the bin. However, anything is technically possible. You never know. He could have used that bag as some sort of cover, and he could have crouched underneath it, wait for the walkers to leave. Then he could have left and gone on with his life and gone wherever he went at that point. So while it is technically possible he could have pulled off something like this, I don't think it's very likely because the walkers would have seen him or had straight up heard him. The second theory, and also while maybe not very likely, it is technically possible that something like this could have happened, and I do think that it's possible that Kenny could have just ran. Now, to be fair, if Kenny had ran, we would have seen him in some sort of capacity. We would have seen him running into the street. He would have called out, hey, I'm down here, possibly, unless he didn't want to draw any attention to himself. But like I said, the reason why I don't think it's likely is because I think we most likely would have seen him somewhere. We would have seen him running in the street. We would have seen something. The only thing to back this theory is the fact that Kenny, when they do the overhead shot after the incident, you don't see Kenny anywhere. He's nowhere to be seen, so he's either hiding or he just straight up ran. The other problem with this theory is that even if he did run, what are the chances that he can get through all those walkers without one of them grabbing him, biting him, and ending his life? It's not necessarily the most likely thing, because while he is faster, he could shove his way through technically. I think it'd be extremely difficult to do with that many walkers surrounding you in such an enclosed space. With the other scenario where Kenny jumps down to save Krista in that dark hole, there's a lot more openness to interpretation as to what could have happened because you don't really see in the room. You don't know how big the room is, so Kenny would have most likely just straight up ran. However, in this case, running just doesn't seem to be very feasible. It doesn't seem to be very plausible because, like I said, one of the walkers just most likely would have grabbed him, and that's making a lot of noise running as well. For the last theory, this is the one that I personally subscribe to. This is the one that makes the most sense to me. But I personally think that Kenny essentially pulled a Glenn from the TV series The Walking Dead. If you don't know, Glenn essentially was trapped by a bunch of walkers right by a dumpster, and he had to use one of the people in his group who had just shot himself. He used his body as like a meat shield essentially, and then climbed underneath the dumpster and was able to escape that way. But I think that essentially something similar could have happened here, where I think that Kenny could have used Ben's body or even used the railing that Ben fell onto as like some sort of shield, let the walkers eat at Ben's body, and then wait for them to leave, because Kenny would have been covered in Ben's blood or someone's blood, walker blood, anything, and that could have been used as a mask or a shield and made the walkers essentially not want to attack him. And this would also explain why we can't see Kenny in the aftermath of the incident. He would have been hiding underneath the body, waited for the walkers to leave, and then essentially get up and go on to see us again in season 2. That's, to me, is just the most likely scenario. It's the one that makes the most amount of sense. Anything else that you say is just straight up most likely wrong or unjustifiable and has holes in its theory. Yes, you could argue those holes in this theory as well, but I would say that there's more claims here. There's more actual substantial evidence, seeing as we've seen this before in the TV show, so we know that it can happen. We know it's definitely a possibility. But guys, these are the theories that I've come up with today as to how Kenny could have survived in the alleyway. Honestly, we might not ever know the answer, and maybe that's okay. Maybe it's better to leave that mystery unsolved. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. How do you guys think Kenny could have survived this? Because this is honestly very, very interesting to me. I have no clue as to how he could have done it, but you know what? I guess we could just let it be a mystery. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any other game theories that you want me to go over, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!